the sun comes out, paint the drone case, this case here, but it has to be washed and dried off. I want to take the plastic off of this and then paint it. I have to clean it with a degreasing solution to get the saran wrap glue off of the case. So it started raining when I went outside to do that process. So that's not going to happen. Not right away. It might happen a little bit later in the live stream. So what I really wanted to talk about for a long time is doctors. Doctors, not just in the Philippines, but doctors in America. And this is all in relationship to the wounds and the infection on my leg, and also another man named Michael Dowdy, who you'll see in the chat from time to time. Because Michael Dowdy and myself, we both had identical infections, whereas the wounds expanded exponentially in a matter of days to be 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 inches in Michael's case, long and 3 inches wide. And my wounds covered my entire leg from my knee down to my ankle. And that all happened in a matter of a few weeks. But the interesting thing is, we're going to talk about the incompetency and or of the doctor, hospital, and culture industry. Not just in America, but probably it's a systemic worldwide, because after speaking with Michael Dowdy on chat, he said to me, I had the same wounds that you do, and my wounds were identical. So I didn't know that he lived in America at the time he got the wounds. So I'm thinking to myself that he's going to send me a picture of a blister. Well, I had probably 30 square inches of raw flesh where the wounds opened up to as big as 3 1/4 inches on my leg. He had 50 inches. His were bigger, longer, and wider than mine. Now, this is the interesting part about this. Number one, and primary to this conversation, is that no doctor, either in America or the Philippines, no doctor, none. I've been to 17. I don't know how many he went to, but no doctor, no hospital, no analysts of the wounds, none, zero, came back with what caused the initial infection. And it's even more bizarre that my wound was caused 3.5 years ago. I scratched my leg. It looked like a paper cut on the back of my leg. I saw the metal scratch my leg, and like a drop of blood dripped down about 1.5 inches. And I said, oh, that's no big deal. I've had much worse, hundreds of times. I had hundreds of wounds worse than that. So I didn't pay any attention to it. The next day it opened up. Within a week, we're talking about 5, 6, 7 days, it was that big, 3 1/4 inches in diameter, and it had completely washed away the flesh. And I'm going, what? And within another 2 weeks, there were 10 more wounds on my right leg and one on my left leg, on my thigh. But the other 11 total were on my right leg, between my knee and my ankle. So I immediately went to the doctor, and they said, well, we're going to cut off. This is the Philippines. I never heard of anything so ridiculous. We're going to cut around the perimeter of the wound. I said, yeah, okay, if that's what you think you have to. And we're going to also clean the wound. Yeah, okay. I said, so they started to wash the wound with some soap pads and stuff like that. And I'm going, whoa, 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 that hurts. The tears were coming out of my eyes. I said, you're going to give me a local? No, sir, no local. You're not going to give me an anesthetic in any way? No, sir. Well, I'll pay for it. No, sir. We don't know that you're not allergic to the anesthetic. I said, well, you know what? Let me get a test, and you can find out if I'm allergic to it. No, sir. This has to be done now. So they proceeded to cut around the wound, and that hurt so much. I mean, tears. I was not crying, but the tears from pain. So that happened, and it got worse, progressively worse for an entire year. Far be unbeknownst to me, in America, shortly after I got my wounds, Michael Dowdy scratched his leg on a piece of metal and got the same problem, but worse than me. So the day that I went to the hospital, the name of the hospital was Borja Hospital. Now, they're very nice people, and I'm sure they're doctors and nurses. So they said, we're going to take a culture. You have to go to Romero Hospital to get the culture. So they wrapped up my leg when they were done, and I went to Romero Hospital, and I got a culture, and I waited a week, and I went back, and the culture came back, nothing, zero, nothing wrong, nothing. Meanwhile, my leg they looked at the leg at Romero Hospital. So I went to a doctor in Romero Hospital, and he looked at my leg, and he said something about who dressed the wound, because I didn't have proper dressing, because no one in the Philippines, no hospital, no pharmacy, nowhere in the Philippines could you buy gauze pads, 4x4 or any. Nowhere could you buy gauze pads, even 3x3s. They just didn't have them in stock. So I used a clean towel, and I used duct tape, not duct tape, box tape, brown box tape over the clean towel. And this doctor said to me, who dressed the wounds? I said, well, I did. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So I leave Borja Hospital with their dressing on my leg. And they are 200 feet away from BQ. Romero Hospital's about 1,000 feet up the road. Before I got to the BQ Mall, the dressing that they put on at Borja Hospital, it fell off. It just slipped down my leg, down to my ankle. So I had my bandage that I was using, a clean white cotton cloth. So I put that on my leg and then walked up to the Borja Hospital, up to Romero Hospital. So when I got there, they did the culture, and then I put the dressing back on, because no hospital, no pharmacy had 4x4 gauze pads. This is going for months. This was going on. Zero. You know, you can't buy a Band-Aid in the Philippines. If you want to get like an 1.5 by 4-inch Band-Aid, they don't sell them. They will tell you to go to a hospital 30 miles away and ask if they have Band-Aids. Those Band-Aids. Or somebody will say they have Band-Aids out in Anda, which is 40 miles away. Go there. You should be. Well, I don't want a Band-Aid. I want gauze pads. Yes, they have gauze pads. The hospitals have gauze pads. But the pharmacies were out of stock. They didn't have gauze pads. Anywhere of the 23 pharmacies and hospitals total that I went to, probably 16 of them, no one had a gauze pad. So I get to Romero Hospital, they take the culture, and then they tell me to go see a doctor in the basement, an Indian fellow. So I was with Daisy at the time, and he looks at my leg, and I start taking off the bandage to show him the wound, and he goes, "Who dressed the wound?" I said, "I did." He goes, "You're supposed to use gauze pads." I said, "Yeah, I know, but nobody has gauze." "Well, you have to use gauze pads." I'm going, "Dude, I went to Daisy went in one direction and I went up on another direction and we met. Nobody has gauze pads." "Oh, you got it." He started telling me how you have to be able to find gauze pads. I'm going, "Look, you don't have them in your hospital pharmacy. They don't have them in Borja Hospital pharmacy." "Well, you got it." I said, "You know what? I'm going to leave." Yeah, get out of my office." So because I didn't have the wound dressed properly, he told me to get out of his office because I was telling him that there's no gauze pads available. Somehow he thinks that I should be able to magically make gauze pads appear. The Philippines pharmacies are lacking to a big degree. The antibiotic that the Borja Hospital suggested to me, and I don't remember which one it was, but so there's a pharmacy that I go to, Rose Pharmacy. I needed 21 pills, 3 pills a day for 7 days. They had 4 pills. They told me to go to 360. I went to 360. They had 11 pills, so that we have 14 pills. I still need 7 more. They told me to go to Watson's, so I went to Watson's, and I got 5 more. Then Watson's told me to go across the street to another pharmacy. Well, what? This has gone on for 3.5 years. Each pharmacy, very rarely will you ever find a pharmacy that can fill your whole prescription for certain antibiotics, especially amoxiclav 625. Those things like hen's teeth. So you might have to go to 2, 3, 4, 5 pharmacies to get a prescription filled, and you may have 2 prescriptions. Now, what I said in the beginning, that this is a systemic problem. Doctors and, you know what, I'm going to go big today. I'm going to go large. Let me get these. I'm going to go large today. I'm going to wear my new glasses. I decided to bust out a pair of new glasses. So, you have no idea what it's like going from one pharmacy to another to get 21 pills. So eventually, Daisy and I, walking around, got the 21 pills that day. Now, there was another product, silver sulfadiazine with cerium cream. Now, the pills were 1,200 pesos at Rose Pharmacy. 21 pills at 64 pesos per pill. So that was it was a little over 1,200 pesos. That's $25 for a prescription for 1 week. It's expensive. It's relatively expensive, but not compared to America. So the silver sulfadiazine, I needed that also. And they sold it in tubes. But as it turns out, the first pharmacy that I went to that I asked about this, no, they didn't have it. Second pharmacy, they didn't have it. Third pharmacy, they didn't have it. So Daisy wrote it down on a piece of paper, and she walked around Tagbilaran for an hour and a half. And then she texted me that she found it in a tube. And it was 325 pesos, $7 for a tube of silver sulfadiazine with cerium cream, which is very expensive. So I used up that tube in just a few days. I told her to buy a couple of tubes. So I used that up right away. And then I went back to that pharmacy. They didn't have any more. And they told me, they will tell you to go to this pharmacy, go to 360. There's a pharmacy across the street. And you go to these places, they don't have it. But the people in each pharmacy are sure that the next pharmacy that they send you to is going to have it. It's a nightmare. Can you call up on the phone so I don't have to walk with this injury on my leg? No, sir. It's just down the block. So we did that. Eventually, Daisy went to a pharmacy directly across from Romero Hospital. I mean, straight across the street. The place is about 10 feet wide. When the storefront, but it opens up, it goes back deep. So she went in there and she found this tub of silver sulfadiazine for $120. So we bought this. And then from then on, we would try to buy this tub because I used about 7 or 8 of these tubs of silver sulfadiazine. Now, it's not the insane part of the systemic people that are, you could call it incompetent or you could call it, they just don't know what this wound is about. In America, Michael Dowdy was having the same problem, getting medicine, and the culture that he came back with, they could not diagnose the wound, what bacteria was in it. My culture came back as clean. I did a blood test, I did a full panel, what they call urine, blood pressure, everything. Mine came back as if it was a clean sheet of paper, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I said, well, you saw the wound. Yes, sir. Those are the results. And it was $52. I'm going, but that can't be. Is an infection. Yes, sir. But our machines don't register the infection. Try to go to Ace Hospital. So I went to Ace. Ace Hospital has a culture test also. Their hospital tests are $60. And they came back with a bacteria called Provincia Stuarte. So, a few months into the wound, they gave me a different type of antibiotic. That didn't work. Nothing, by the way, nothing was working. The leg was getting worse. This went on for 3 years. Now, I'm going to talk about the doctors in America with Michael. They could not heal his leg. Medicine, antibiotic, culture. The way a culture comes back, I don't know if I have it here. The way the culture analysis comes back is it gives you 5 or 6 possible bacteria, 5 or 6 possible. No, I don't have it. It gives you 5 or 6 possible antibiotics that will cure the wound. None of them worked. So a few months goes by, they gave me, every 2 weeks, they gave me a new medicine. Or they gave me a medicine for 2 or 3 weeks and then they changed it. Nothing worked. Michael Dowdy in America, nothing worked. Nothing. And both of our legs, independently of one another, I didn't know who Michael Dowdy was until 2 weeks ago. Independently, in different countries, from a scratch, from a piece of rusty metal, we both had the same thing going on. Well, eventually, after I don't know how long it was. I can't. If Michael's here, he can say how long it was before he went into the hospital. Let me get to my home page. I should have been there, but I wasn't there. Let me go see if Michael's here, and he can tell us if how long it was since he got the infection. No, I don't see him here. Okay, so Michael has the same exact infection on his leg in America. We don't know each other, from a metal, rusty piece of metal. Nothing is working. His is worse than mine by 30+%. They tell him, now this is not a life-threatening, they tell him this is not life-threatening, but it sure is ugly. You got to go in for intravenous because it's getting worse exponentially on your leg. So he went into the hospital, intravenous treatment, several different IV drugs. And then his wounds, after 21 days in the hospital, started clearing up. Now, this goes back a year. So I got it. Maybe a year or so later, Michael got it. We didn't know each other. Same thing. Same exact wounds. If I showed you the wounds, I'm not going to show you the wounds. But if I showed them to you, they're horrendous. Okay, so after 21 days and however many thousands of dollars in the hospital, his leg was cured. I said to the doctor, I'll go into the hospital today. I'll go today, in Borja Hospital. You tell me I need to go into the hospital for intravenous, I will go in. How many pesos a day? Because I only had 30,000 pesos on me. I knew I was going to have to go into the hospital. I didn't know how much it was going to cost. We don't know that, sir. The Borja Hospital. You can send this video to them because they monkeyed me around for the better part of an hour. So eventually I got to the billing office. First, I spoke with a doctor, then I spoke with the people that bring you in. This is the incompetency is systemic in all. We're gonna talk about American hospitals. They're worse. American hospitals are way worse than, they charge millions of dollars for operations that don't work. And I'll be quite honest with you, that just happened to a friend of mine. So we went to the registrar office where you register and the billing office in the Borja Hospital. How much will this cost me? We don't know that, sir. Well, give me an approximate amount, because when I left, this is insanity. When I left the emergency room in the Borja Hospital, after they cut the wound, this was the best part. They cut the wound. The doctor tells me I need the silver sulfadiazine in a tube. At the pharmacy in the hospital, the tubes are 320 pesos. The girl who dresses my wound goes to the pharmacy, buys or gets a tube, puts the silver sulfadiazine on my wound, and then she puts it back in her basket. And when I saw the bill, and then they gave me the bill for the emergency room treatment, which was like about $80. They charged me $7. Hey, Jack, thanks for stopping by. They charged me $7 for that tube of cream, but I didn't see that right away. They gave me the bill. I went to pay the bill, and then when I saw it was $7, I went back in and I said to the girl, you charged me $7 for that tube of cream. That's my cream, right? No, sir. I said, well, I paid for it. It was a new tube. I paid for it. I'd like to take that with me so I have cream. Sir, you can buy cream in the pharmacy. I'm going, well, no, I already bought cream. So I spoke with the doctor, and he said, no, you have to give him the cream. I was right. I was right. So the girl gives me the cream. Now the doctor tells me you have to go in intravenous treatment. So I go to the billing department in the Borja Hospital. I pay the bill. I ask the person who registers you into how many pesos per day? We're not sure, sir. You sign in. You sign in now, and we'll start billing you, and then you'll know. I said, no, I will not do that. I have to know how much, because I don't have that much money on me. I only have 30,000 pesos. How many pesos will it be? So we don't know that. I said, well, how can you tell me to sign into a hospital unless you know how much it's going to cost? She won't give me an answer. So I said, okay. So I went to Romero Hospital to get the culture. I go to their billing department. They tell me it could be about 92,000 pesos a day, plus if the doctor has to make an extra visit. So I said, well, break it down for me. Break it down for me. What am I paying for? Sir, you're paying 92,000 pesos a day. And that includes the administration of the intravenous, but not the product in the intravenous. It includes one doctor consultation at 10 o'clock in the morning, but if the doctor has to come back again in the afternoon, that's another 30,000 pesos. 30,000 pesos, $600. I said, wait a second, are you serious? 30,000 pesos? Yes, sir. So that can't be right. Somebody got to check that. Well, what it turned out to be was 6,000 pesos. She got it confused. But maybe she would have billed me 30,000 pesos if I didn't argue the fact. So I said, well, so then this could cost me 110,000 pesos a day? Yes, sir. But you need to sign in today because your leg is very bad. I said, no, I'm not going to. I didn't do it. And I said, how long do you think this could take? Minimum, sir, 21 days. I'm going 21 times 2. That's $50,000 for this hospital. 50. And do you think you'll be able to cure it? We don't know that, sir. We have to get the culture back. I said, well, the culture's not going to be ready for a couple of days. Or we'll expedite the culture. I said, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. So I went. When the culture did come back, it came back with nothing in the culture. So they charged me $60 for a culture that didn't even show. So I went to Ace Hospital, Ace, ACE. They have a high-end, a really super high-end hospital, Ace. Everything is ultramodern. That's where I got my ultrasound from my leg. They have a chemistry, a science department there. It's an amazing hospital, Ace, ACE. Bye-bye, Jack. I don't know what's going on here. What? Let me read the comments. Okay, hold on. You keep deleting comments. Please stop deleting comments. I can't read. I don't know what. Jack, you're talking in one-word sentences as if I'm psychic. I don't understand. You know, Jack, that thing with you with the muscular legs, I think it's affected. Jack has recently come out of the closet. He likes men with muscular legs. All right, so Jack, you got to be more. Please stop speaking in one-word sentences. Please, Jack. If you want to find a man with anybody here, is there anybody here right now that has muscular legs? Because Jack has this new fetish. He wants to put his ears, because he lives up. Okay, I had to switch. Sorry about that. I had to switch over to, I was on mobile data. I have a tower right near the house, 2 towers within a half a mile. Anyway, the hospital that I went to, Ace Hospital, they did a culture. And in that culture came back with a virus or a bacteria called Proventia stuarte. YouTube just, oh man, hold on a second. Now it's off my screen. What's going on here? This is ridiculous. Okay. It's up now. Okay. John Blaze is in the house. John Blaze is on his way. Well, John Blaze should be in Bantallion Island right now, according to his message. Thanks, John. 5x5. John Blaze is on his way to Bantallion Island to go to the Cuckoo Bar and Grill and to get the best hamburger in the Philippines. That's true. And he also said he wants to reconnoiter the island. So I gave him some advice not to plan so much time to go to the ruins and to bring boots, because that entire island in the rain, it's rainy season now. Everywhere I went, except on the main road and on the beach where I lived, was puddles, swamp-like. Everywhere, every road that Daisy and I walked down, we did a lot of walking. On the main road from Rick's Paradise Resort to the ruins was dry, and the main highways was dry because they just put those roads in higher than the elevation on the side of the road. But on either side of the road, puddles 3, 4, 5 inches deep. So we'll go back to the hospital chat. I go to Ace Hospital. I get the culture. Oh, it's a week. It takes a week. I go to their billing department. Their billing department assured me it would be 100,000 pesos a day, $2,000 a day, to intravenous me for the bacteria, Proventia stuarte. And it would take 21 days. Same as Michael Dowdy. And I said, well, is that guaranteed? Because I'm talking to the nurse who read the results from the culture in the laboratory. No, sir. It's not guaranteed that it'll make the wound go away. No, sir. There's no guarantees with this. So I said, so it could cost me $50,000? Yes, sir. They're all happy about that. And we'd like it if you signed in today. That's the second time I heard that. Okay, so let's digress now. I walk out of that with the culture. I go back to the Romero Hospital, to the doctor that told me to get the culture from, I go from Ace Hospital, I go back to Romero, I go back to Borja Hospital, to the doctor that said get the culture from Romero. Theirs came back 0. This is 2 weeks now. The first week I waited, the culture came back as Zippo. I went back to Borja, showed the doctor. He goes, well, you gotta get another culture. So I went to Ace, and they charged me an additional $60. So I go back to the Borja Hospital, and the doctor says, okay, we'll give you medicine. He had given me medicine before that also. But each one of these medications were somewhere about $20 a week, $25 a week. None of it worked. It got worse, progressively worse. We tried all of the 6 or 7 types of antibiotics. None of it worked. Same with Michael Dowdy in America. This is why I titled at best it's a guess. So now we're going to talk about $1 million operations. $1 million in operations. $1 million in operations over the last 2 years. Hey, Roberto, thanks for stopping by. Good evening to you. So I have a friend of mine in America. They have spent probably $2 million since 2014 on this woman, his wife. He worked for the state of New York. She broke her ankle. At a Halloween party. So when they put it together, she broke it again. She walked on it prematurely. It's supposed to be 12 weeks. 12 weeks before she walked, and she broke it again. Okay, so it's broke now twice. So the second time, it broke way worse than the first time. So they said, look, you broke the bones in the top of the feet, and you broke your ankle again. We're going to have to fuse the bone in the ankle where you're not going to be able to walk and bend your foot. This is all on New York State's dime. So she said, okay, and they fused her foot. Well, sure enough, a few weeks after they fused it, somehow it broke again. I mean, broke way worse than the second time. So that now each one of these operations are like $100,000 because they had to have, they had to have anesthesiologists, they had to have doctors, the hospital, specialists. Thank you very much, Roberto. Yeah, I have no idea where the man from Battalion is. I have no idea where he is. I know on Thursday, this is the last thing I heard to give you an update. Thursday, I watched that other channel with his name on it, and he said he was going into the city Monday to finalize something, and then he did that thing where he waved goodbye to Barry, and that was the last video I watched on that. I don't think there's been anything else after that. So I would imagine that and that video looked like it was made from a car or a van because there was a seatbelt in the video. So he may have gone down to Cebu for something. I don't know. My leg, Roberto, my leg is healed up more in the last 5 weeks. 5 weeks. You know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna send you the video of my leg, and I'll send you a video of what it did look like a year ago. But they put me on a product called CIPRO, FLOXACIN, ciprofloxacin. I'll show it to you. And in 5 weeks, it healed up more than it healed up in 3 years. Okay, I'll send it to you. Here, this is the product. And in 5 weeks, the wounds went from 3¼ inches down to 1.5 inches. The big one, and the ones that were 2 inches went down to about 1 inch. Yeah, I'll send that out to you. Thanks for asking, Roberto. So, to digress, this woman broke the fused ankle. Now she did nerve damage that time. She fell down the stairs again. Bad, she fell down the stairs. So now they have to call a specialist. Was ciprofloxacin? Actually, no. Amoxiclave 625 is 1,200 pesos for 1 week. 64 pesos per pill. That's $1. It's $1.30 a pill. 21 pills. 14 pills. It's $20 a week for the amoxiclave. 625. About $20 a week for the amoxiclave. 625. For this product here, you won't believe it. You'll say, no, that's not possible. For this product here that did the healing, ciprofloxacin, this product was 120 pesos for 14 pills, 16 cents per piece. 120 pesos for 14 pills. That's $2.40. Excuse me, $2.40 for 16 pills. There's 15 cents a pill. 15 American pennies per pill. And this is the one that healed it up. The stuff I was paying $1.30 a pill for did nothing at all. It kept it in check. This stuff, thank you very much, Roberto. This stuff, $2.40 for 14 pills. I have the prescription around here somewhere. But anyway, I says, are you sure? How many pills did you give me? She goes, 14. So 14 pills was $2.50. So a $2.50 item cleared it up after I've been paying $2.50 for the week, after I was paying $25 a week for the other medicine. I don't know. But here is the strangest part about the ciprofloxacin. Now, I've been to 17 doctors. You hear stories that I didn't go to doctors. Thank you very much, Stephen. Yeah, I've been to 17 doctors. Now, the last doctor, Dr. Eric, I've been with him for a year. The doctor in another hospital that I go to every 3 months for a new culture, I've been with him for 2 years, or her. It's a her. And they gave me, a year ago, ciprofloxacin. Didn't do anything. Did nothing. But this time, it cured it. I could tell you it cured it. I don't want to put, I could show you the wound that's on my leg, but I'll send you the video because it will destroy the algorithms. It'll be somebody, that somebody will flag it as bad content. You know that. That's all he does all day is flag people's videos. In fact, John Blaze has a story he's about to tell people. John Blaze was stopped. Side story. John Blaze was stopped at immigration and investigated and interrogated because somebody called up. Somebody called up. This is true. I just spoke with John on the phone when he was on the ferry going to Bantayan. Somebody called up customs or immigration, gave John Blaze's real name to immigration, and according to John, put him on a watch list saying that he was a criminal. I don't know what kind of criminal. I don't know, because the internet in Bantayan Island was so bad it was breaking up. But somebody called up. This is true. If John Blaze, if you're here, confirm what I'm saying. That I was talking to you from, you were getting to Bantayan Island this morning on the ferry, and you were put on a watch list where I think it was Manila or Cebu, could have been Cebu, but they took him to the side. First of all, they moved him to a section of the plane up in the front of the plane, from his back seat in coach. They moved him to the front of the plane. I don't know why. That could have been part of being on a watch list. I don't know. He doesn't know either. But when he got off the plane, he was immediately escorted to an interrogation room with his baggage. And they went through his baggage, and they went through his background and asked him if he was a criminal, if he had any criminal record. Apparently he does not. But he said the interrogation took 20 minutes. They checked his passport, and then they let him go. But his name was on a watch list, and the person who reported John Blaze to the immigration, according to John Blaze, his name was on the report as the complainant. Now, I don't know if any of that is true. I don't know if that's true or not. So there was a complainant. His name went on the customs or immigration report. They pulled John Blaze off the plane immediately. Not pulled him off, but when he was escorted off the plane from the time he got out of the gate to the interrogation room. But me, I'm more of taking care of business personal, man to man. Yeah, that's libel. That's true, Roberto. I remember that. Yeah, that's an amazing story that John Blaze told me. And I only just heard it. That's why my live stream was late. So John was cleared, but there was a name on the complaint that John said the name. I will not say the name. John can say the name he's going to make a video about this when he gets, I don't know if he's going to make it from Bantayan or when he comes to Bohol. So, to digress back to my friend's wife. Okay, so she breaks the foot again, but this time she fell down the stairs and there's permanent nerve damage. Okay, so what they had to do for the third operation, this goes back 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they had to put some kind of a shunt in her leg where she wasn't supposed to feel pain. But she fell down again. Just, probably, I don't want to theorize why she fell, but she falls down a lot. So, and not from any kind of physical harm from the husband. She likes to drink water. She likes to drink a lot of water. So she fell down again. They put this shunt in her leg. That's the fourth operation. The third operation, the third. They put that in there. She falls down again, and now there's nothing left of the bone. They got to freeze her whole foot. No way will the shunt work The nerve damage is so bad, they have to go into her spine. This is millions of dollars in operations. They put a wire in her spine with a box on the side. She can reduce the pain by turning the pain off like a dial it down. Well, that operation somehow, and I don't know how because I couldn't, I don't think, somehow the wire in her spine came loose. Now, this is 3 years ago. So they tell my buddy about 5 weeks ago, because I talk to a lot of people in America. 5 weeks ago, let me check the comments. Yes, sir, Roberto. Thank you. That's I like that. So they tell my buddy she needs the operation of the dial down the pain didn't work. So what they're going to do is they're going to put a box on the side of her hip with, I think morphine or something more powerful than that, morphine. So my buddy goes, well, why are you doing that? Why don't you just fix the wires? And the surgeon says, what do you mean fix the wires? He said that the wires, according to the x-ray technicians, came out of the spine. And the doctor said, well, no one told me this. These are $150,000, $200,000 operations. And no one told the doctor that the wires pulled loose. The x-ray technician did not confer the information to the doctor. So now the doctor wants to put her back in the hospital and put bigger paddles, whatever that is, on the ends of the wires with little feet on them that they won't be able to pull out. So now it's more than $1.5 million in operations, and they're going to go for another $200,000 operation in a few months. And if that doesn't work, they're just going to put a morphine pump on the side of her hip. So this is now 7 years of operations. Now, this is the woman's fault, though, because she drinks too much water. This is certainly the woman's fault. There's no doubt about that. Maybe. I don't know. She falls down a lot. I've never found out the real reason, but I'm thinking she drinks too much water. And so that's $2 million. He's been to acupuncture. He's been to a different treatment that out of his pocket, $1,500 per treatment per hour. It's a 1 hour treatment. So he did 9 of those, 6 of those for $9,000. And the bottom line, after 7 years, by the way, she's bedridden now from the pain. She can't get out of bed. She can go use the restroom and maybe make an egg or something, but she can't stand up. She's basically been bedridden for 4 years. So doctors, they just keep testing her and testing her and testing her and testing her. New York State spent $2 million in operations, and they couldn't fix a simple problem. Well, they did, but when she fell down the second time, it's because they took the cast off and they put a soft cast on her foot. So that was incompetency. The second time, they did the same thing. She complained about the cast. They wouldn't take it off. She cut the cast off. Then they put a soft cast on so she could scratch a leg, and then she fell down again. So this is millions of dollars wasted. And that's not what happened to me, but what happened to me is still to this day, with the culture I got back in, I remember October 7th, Dr. Eric at the hospital that I was going to and paying, Dr. Eric said, Michael, I can't do anything for you anymore. You're going to have to go get another culture or see a dermatologist. He goes, we've been together for a year and a half. So that was the day I got the culture from Ace Hospital. Excuse me, where did I get that culture from? No, it wasn't Ace. It was a Provincia Hospital in Tagbilaran City. And that was $60 also. So the cultures take about, and they came back, no more Provincia Stuart, they came back with a different bacteria. Now, it's systemic that these doctors don't know how to cure my illness or Michael Dowdy's illness, because I'm not going to mention their names because I've had advice from 2 American doctors, and one of them might be watching, or both of them might be watching now. And we wrote back extensive letters and pictures and description of what was wrong with my leg, and they gave me free their diagnose of what I should use, and it always was silver sulfadiazine, and what type of pills were varying from one to the other because they change every 2 weeks. So I had 2 doctors from America diagnose my leg from the wounds and from the cultures and from the doctor's reports from the hospital, and they, for a year, they tried to help me. And then one day, there was no more hope from those doctors. They said, I've exhausted every possibility, Mike. And they were my friends for years. I haven't seen them on my channel for a year and a half or 2 years because they tried to help me off the books for free, no money for the analysis for their diagnosis. One is the head surgeon of one of the biggest hospitals in New York City, and the other is a real doctor. Nobody could help me. But now this ciprofloxacin has cured my leg since October 15th when I got the culture back. I was given the ciprofloxacin and I've been taking it. I did something you shouldn't do, and I didn't care. When I got my first prescription, they gave it to me at the pharmacy for $2.40, 120 pesos. And then I walked across the street and said to another pharmacy, and I won't tell you the name of the pharmacy, I want to fill this prescription. And she said, you can't fill the prescription, sir. It's already been filled. I said, well, look, I'm going to go on vacation. I need to have a second week. And the doctor wouldn't give me a second week. I need, and they know me at the pharmacy. So with a little hemming and hawing, they gave me another prescription. What I did was, instead of taking 3 pills a day for 7 days, I took 5 pills a day. So 3 pills a day would have been 21 pills. I got 42 pills. I took 5 pills a day, and it lasted 8 days. So in 8 days, I took 60% more medicine, which they said don't do. Don't do that. Don't do that. It'll kill the flora in your stomach. I said, I don't care anymore. I can't live with this leg like this. I can't work. I can't walk. The pain is insufferable pain. I took 5 pills a day for 8 days, and that made a big difference. So now, genius that I am, they're only going to give me, the doctor in one hospital is only going to give me 1 more prescription. And then that's it. He's going to give it to me for 2 weeks. That's the most you can take it for, is 2 weeks, maximum. So I go back to him at the end of the first week, after 8 days. And I tell him I need another prescription. Then I go to a new doctor. I go back to my old doctor that told me to go to the dermatologist. And I said, Doc, this is what the prescription is, and I showed him the ciprofloxacin prescription. It's working. Can you give me a prescription? So he gave me a prescription. So that's one prescription from him, two from the other guy. I doubled up by fudging the first pharmacy. So now I have doubled up for 8 days, one prescription from one hospital, one prescription from another hospital, and then when that one ended, I went back to the same guy again, and I said, the prescription's over, I need another one. So I had my last pill today, 5 weeks. I got 5 weeks pills out of it, and it's gone away. The infection is pretty much gone away. And thanks everybody for being interested in this. But I have had a head surgeon of a major hospital in New York City, another doctor in America, not New York, 17 doctors in Bohol, 5 different hospitals where I got different cultures from different hospitals, 5 altogether total. And in the city, there was the woman, the Indian, the other Indian, Filipino, and five doctors from one hospital in the city, 5. And thank you, Jim. No, I don't know. I don't care if they're watching or not. No, you have no idea how happy they were. They were ecstatic when I showed them my leg last week. And then I told them what I did. I told them I doubled up. I fudged the pharmacy. I had to talk to them, New York talk. And I got a double prescription, and then I went from one hospital to the other. Both doctors, the whole hospital staff came in. We're talking 8, 9 people came in to see my leg. Every one of them were familiar with the wounds on my leg. Every one of them, they were very happy. Because you got to remember now, I'm going to these people, the hospital in the city, 2 years, and the hospital in Bohol, 3 years. When I showed it to the doctor, he was, let me tell you how happy he was, okay? He was so happy, he gave me the ciprofloxacin from the pharmacy in the hospital. And he also gave me another pill that had something different altogether. He gave it to me, which was 120 pesos, but he took it out of the pharmacy from the hospital. So the funny thing, the 2 doctors, 2 of them, all the doctors involved, the ones in the city, there were 8 people that came in to see the leg, because I told them that the ciprofloxacin cured it. They couldn't believe it. What the progress that was made in 4 weeks from the time I started taking the medicine, that the progress was more than 3 years of progress. So the doctor, the main Filipino doctor, said to me, now this is the guy in charge of that hospital. He said to me, he goes, when you doubled up on the prescription, he knew the answer to this. He goes, did you have the runs? I said, yeah, I had the runs. I had to stay in the house for a week. He goes, oh, okay, is it all right now? I said, yeah, it's better now. But it makes you have loose stool. And there was no way you could leave. I mean, I had to go to use the restroom, CR, I don't know, every 45 minutes to an hour. You drink a glass of water, I got to go to the bathroom. Have an egg, I got to go to the bathroom. Have a piece of pork, I got to go to the bathroom. So I'm very happy with the results. Jim, I'll send you. Thanks, Jack. Well, the doubling up of that first ciprofloxacin, I said When the doctor gave me the prescription, I said, why don't you double that up? No, sir, can't do that. I said, okay, you can't do it, but I can. You can't do it. I have had this for 3.5 years. I don't care what it does to me. There's my culture. Hold on a minute. I think I got the culture right here. Hold on. I think I got it right here. What did I do with that? No, I got this is the hospital that I got the medicine from originally. Governor Salentes Galares. That's the hospital. But the first doctor, that guy says, you can't do that. I said, yeah, okay. You can't do it. But I'm going to do it. And I did it. Well, when I told him, I don't think they're going to put it in the books. It's against the rules to give that much antibiotics. It's not allowed. I didn't care. I said, I'm going to do it anyway. I did it. But it worked. It's kind of like, I burnt up the virus, I guess you could say. But I did that. I did it. I don't know if one prescription would have done it or not. I have no idea. But once that happened, the swelling in the leg went from 21 inches, my calf muscle was, down to about 19. So that's 2.5 inches in swelling. You can't do that. So yeah, so that's my diagnosis in America. $2 million. And Michael Fazio, M.D. Thanks, Jim. The diagnosis in America, $2 million. It cost the state of New York for 5 failed attempts to fix this woman's leg. She broke it once, she broke it twice, she broke it four failed attempts, four failed attempts, and she's got to go back in for one to put bigger paddles, and they're going to put some kind of teeth on the paddles, on the wires, outside of the spine. And to hold the wires in place, because they kind of pulled out. They pulled out from the meat. And if that doesn't work, they're going to give her a pump with morphine on the side of her hip. That's $2 million that they and also the first wire installation was a shunt. She broke it once, she broke it twice, she broke the shunt, she broke the wire. Okay, so that's 4, right? The first one was the shunt should not have been necessary because they took the cast off her leg. They let her be in charge of whether or not she had a cast on her foot. They told her you have to stay in bed for 12 weeks. She was walking around 2 weeks later. And she took the cast off herself the second time, and then she fell down the stairs. It was just all nothing but pieces of bones in her foot. There was just parts of bones. There was nothing to put back together. So hospitals and doctors, I am sure that the doctors in the Philippines, they have tried everything. There's nothing they haven't tried, just nothing worked. And the cultures came back, all different results from the cultures. The doctors in America couldn't diagnose it with pictures and reading the results from the doctors here. It's a guess. They're guessing. For most stuff, apparently they're guessing. And in Michael Dowdy, who has the same injury on his leg, the same wounds, Michael Dowdy had the same exact wounds. Exactly the same, but worse. Nobody has ever diagnosed Michael Dowdy's wounds ever since day one. Nobody. Always take double. I never heard of that before. But nobody has diagnosed to this day. Michael Dowdy and I were talking, I think it was yesterday morning. Nobody has told him what the infection was from. And it's not clear what intravenous that Michael Dowdy took for 21 days. Apparently there were several different antibiotics that they gave Michael Dowdy. Not knowing which one was going to work, they gave him one for a few days and another one for a few days. So after 21 days and mixing up the antibiotics, intravenous antibiotics, they don't know which one killed the infection. And there was no clear cut what the infection was. Well, Michael doesn't remember. All right, so we've talked about that enough. You can't pick my brain, and you're trolling me, so leave the channel. Say another word about the case, and I will remove you from the channel permanently. If anybody knows anything about law, you don't discuss an ongoing case, and you know that. So how about I just ban you from my channel? Because you already know the answer, and you already know I don't talk about the case. The worst thing that anybody can do, I'll give you some advice. You should disappear right now. Don't say another word. When you have a case in court, the absolute worst thing that you could do after the fact is talk about the case. So you are probably Richie or some other troll from his channel coming here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to ban you from my channel. You know better than that. And if you don't know better than that, I'll teach you a little lesson. Because if I was to go to your channel right now, which I'm going to do, I would say that you have nothing on your channel. Absolutely nothing on your channel. I would say it doesn't have any videos on your channel. I would say that you don't have any content on your channel. I would say you have absolutely nothing on your channel worth looking at. And I can't even go to your channel for some reason. Okay, so I'm going to just hide you on this channel. Bye-bye. That's trolling. He was trolling me. You're not allowed to do that on my channel. So, oh, can I pick your brain? Can I be your friend and talk nice to you and then everything you say is public knowledge? You're a dude. You're a dude, dude. Adios, dude. Okay, so Jim says, and he came back anyway. And he came back anyway to try to say more words after I told him you're trolling me. Dude, you know better than that. You're trying to sneak attack me, what Jack calls snipe me. Go away. Really, go away. Don't come back under a different name. I don't care about you being on my channel. I don't care if I blocked you. I never cared if I blocked somebody. I'm never going to care. It's not in my repertoire to care about people that come to my channel and troll me. You got your 2 minutes of your FaceTime. I tried to go to your channel. Can't go there. You got nothing on your channel. So you are just a troll. There's no doubt about it. Jim, Lewis Pagan Punts. Okay, Jim says, and yet, oh, well, we can't talk about the pandemic because Trump is going to Trump's got the cure. Apparently, Trump has the cure. He's got what I think I saw a video of ex-President Donald Trump. He said, if you elect me president, I will be able to fix this pandemic once and for all. I think he called it the master shot. The master shot. The master shot. One more this is what Trump said. One more round of antibiotics or one more round of vaccinations and the master shot will cure the pandemic forever if you elect me president. That's what Trump said. Okay. I don't believe it. I mean, no virus, not even the common cold, do they have an actual cure forever for it because it mutates. But Trump said he's got a. If you re-elect him president, this is one of his campaign promises. If you re-elect him president, he will cure this pandemic 100%. I don't know if that's possible or not. Okay, so we got rid of that guy. Louis Paganpont. Yeah, that's the praying mantis I put on the thing because the praying mantis is it's a very aware creature, but there is no awareness, in my opinion, about my physical problem with and also Michael Dowdy's physical problem and even the problem of the women in America. No one's been able to, and they charge you every time. You know, I have $10,000 in medical costs, medicines, figure 3.5 years, at $20 a week. So what does that come out to? Because most of my medicines, ciprofloxacin was $2.40 a week, but most of the other medicines were $20, $25 a week. So figure 50 times 20, that's $1,200 a year for medicine, and then 2 of these a year. These are $120 each. Now they're $150. So 2 of these a year, silver sulfadiazine, what it's called, 2 of these a year, plus the $1,200 a year. Silver sulfadiazine plus cerium nitrate, flamacerium cream. Okay, so $1,200 plus $240 is $1,440 a year for medicine. So say $1,500 a year for medicine and cultures. 3 years is $4,500. That's $5,250 for medicine and creams. And then the cost of each hospital visit is about $50 when you go back every couple of months for a hospital visit. For when you get the culture, they charge you, in between, they charge you about $20 a visit. So I have $10,000 in hospital costs, creams, lotions, and transportation fees to the hospital. And nobody still to this day, nobody has a clue what it was that caused the problem. And in the beginning, I believed it was walking through a puddle, a septic puddle. But apparently, Michael Dowdy didn't walk through a septic puddle. We both got it from a scratch or from a piece of metal. And no one knows to this day what it was, and no one knows why all those medicines didn't cure it. And I spent $10,000. Because now, what did I just figure? $5,200, right? And then all the trips back and forth to the hospital, plus bandages, tapes, and bandages. That's not so much, but it's 500 pesos a month for bandaging, for the bandages I was using, the quilted ones. So that's another $100 a year for 3.5 years. That's $5,500, $6,000 roughly, $7,000 with transportation, and then you take the miscellaneous stuff that I tried, the other creams. I have about $10,000 and thousands of hours of hospital visits and transportation time. So no one. This is a best guess. This is a best guess. They give it their best guess, and they do their best to fix the problem, but it's all guesswork. It's not all guesswork. If the culture comes back, this is what should clean up the infection, and then they try those 7 medicines, 8 medicines. That doesn't work. And then you go back to medicine number 1. They try it again. It just goes through the list. And every 3 months, I got a new culture. And every 3 months, I'd come up with a different infection. It's an amazing thing, medicine. It's too a science for a lot of parts of medicine, but when it comes to something they don't know about, they give it their best guess. That's all they can do. Jack. Okay, I'm missing something. Okay, maybe there's something I can't see, Jim Alver. I don't know. I have your name written down in the book. I still didn't get to 7-Eleven. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna go to the. I have to go to the bank this week. I'll see what I could do about switching from one card to another. But I did also ask Jim. Do you have a Facebook account? On Facebook, we can talk. If you'd like to do it that way. It's just a question. It's not a. It's a question. So with that, what else is new here? What else is new? Gonna paint the case today. Gonna paint the drone case yellow, but not today because it's raining on and off. Even now, it's 100% humidity. I don't want to paint the orange pale. I want to have a perfect yellow paint job so that I can put the black magic marker on. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Chocolate. Oh, God. You want to talk about how they're demoralizing us with chocolate in the Philippines? You see these things here? Nips, N-I-P-S. Nips. Okay. This chocolate candy, about 4 months ago. Okay, Jim, I got it. You're not on Facebook. All right. All right. I have it written down. You could see my hands, right? Let's see. Is this the book I have your name in? Yeah. This is it right here. Jim Alver. This candy here. All right, so about 4 months ago, 3 months ago, a worthless human being who lied to me, who said certain parts would fit, were replacement parts for an engine I was working on. Every time I go into her store, she asks me for candy. Every time. So this is before I went to Cebu. I have the parts you need. So she gave me springs that cost $5 each. Yeah, 250 pesos each. $5 a piece for the springs. $5. And I bought 6 springs outer and 6 springs inner for a product I'm repairing. So that was $60. And I said to her, if you have the springs that I want, if you can replace these 2 springs, I'll go out and buy you chocolate. Yes, sir, we have them. So she gave me springs that were almost identical. Almost. But not identical. But it looked like they would, to me, it looked like they would work. Well, I brought them back to the machine shop. But before I brought them to the machine shop that they were working on the engine I was rebuilding, I went and bought her a box of these nips and 3 other types of chocolate, because she had parts that was going to save me a trip to Cebu, to the automotive store in Cebu. So she gives me these parts. I go and buy her $15 worth of chocolate. These were $5 a box, and there's 16 bags in each box. So I give them to her. Said thank you. Then I bring the parts to the machine shop, and then the machinist says these are no good. They're not the same. They have to be the same. So I bring the parts back to the store. She doesn't want to take the parts back. She doesn't want to give me my money back for them. She goes, we can give you something else in return. So I ended up buying this stuff here. I ended up buying 7 tubes of Mighty Gasket, because I'll use them to do engine repairs eventually. Mighty Gasket. So this almost made up the difference for the price. And then I got a gallon of oil at a price of twice what I would normally pay for it, because they only had it in quarts. So this is the kind of worthless service you get here in the Philippines. She sold me something that was different than what I brought in, but I didn't have a micrometer, nor do I know about that, whether they looked like they would fit. They just wouldn't fit. They would fit, but they weren't the same compression ratio as the ones that came out of the engine. Apparently they're different colors. So she wouldn't give me back my money. I had to buy something I didn't need at the time and don't need it now, and I might not need it for another year, and a gallon of oil. But getting back to the chocolate. So I bought her a box of these, 16 in a box, and I threw one of them in my bag. And I ate one bag between BQ and going to the automotive store. So they were delicious. Oh, God, they were good. They were delicious. I'm going, wow, these are really good. So about a month ago, now this was before I went to Cebu in September, like September 15th. A month ago, I bought another box of these to give out as gifts for the hospital. To the doctors. I just threw them on the table. Whoever wanted them could have them. If they don't want to eat them, they'll give them to the next people that come in. And I took a bag of those. The difference between the bag I got in September, which were delicious, to the difference to the ones I bought a month ago that I brought to the hospital, this is the ones I brought to the hospital. They're garbage. It's like somebody said, well, we're not going to put chocolate in these anymore. We're going to put something else in there. It's going to smell like chocolate. It's even going to taste a little bit like chocolate. They have reduced the quality of this product by 50 or 60 or 70%. It's not even worth the time. It's worth nothing. It's an absolutely flavorless, no taste, zero content of flavor from considering they are screwing us every way possible when it comes to the quality of foods and now candy. Peanut butter, can't buy peanut butter anymore. Skippy peanut butter, used to be able to take a spoonful of Skippy peanut butter, turn it upside down, and leave it there for an hour. Nothing happens. Now, you take a spoonful of peanut butter, hold it up and it drips off the side of the spoon because they've added 20% water or oil or both. I don't know. I will never buy peanut butter in the Philippines again, ever. The peanut butter that they make here in the Philippines, you buy it once and you'll never buy it again. And then Skippy was the last peanut butter, the only one I bought. I bought that for about 2 years because Daisy loves peanut butter. I'll never buy it again. It's absolutely worthless. So candy, 20%, peanut butter, 20% thinned out. The size, the quality of the chocolate, worthless. It's not even worth eating. It looks like chocolate. It smells a little bit like chocolate, but it doesn't taste like chocolate. What else? The one product that Daisy likes is Milo. Milo went from $2.40 a kilo to $3.60 a kilo in one jump. I think it's the same quality, but it went up it went up 50% in one day, or not one day, but I would buy 3 kilos for Daisy, and that will last her a couple of months. So the next time I went back, it went from $2.40 to $3.60. So they're just destroying people's ability to buy food here. I mean, it's just being, your money is being, the quality of the product is being reduced, the size of the packaging is being reduced, and the price is being increased on almost everything. I don't know. The chips, they have these things called prawns that you put them in oil and you fry them up. They went, I'll show those to you. Those I have. I didn't open them up yet. When we had the lockdown. Okay, so I know that these prices go back a long time. But when we had the lockdown in 2020, I went out because I'm not a prepper, but I went out and did prepping for the first time. I bought 50 kilos of the best rice possible. I bought 50 tomato sauces, this kind of sauce here. You could see yesterday I went shopping. That's only what's left in the box. I don't know, there's 7 packages in there, 6 packages. That's just what's left in the box. I bought all together. When I buy in bulk. I think I bought 15 kilos of sauce. Anyway, these, when I bought these in 2020, this size bag, was 68 pesos. I'm looking for how much it weighs. Net weight 400 grams, a little less than half a kilo. 68 pesos for this bag, 400 grams. So I have I don't know. I think I got eight or nine more of these. I might have more. I don't know. I have boxes, storage. So I know I have 8 because I counted them the other day. So I took one out in case I feel like having a snack, but I haven't done that. Scott would have a heart attack if he saw me eating these things. They're all pure starch. So I've had this out. But anyway, they was 68 pesos. Now they're 108 pesos. So that's 40 pesos more. 40 pesos from 68 it went up 50%. More than that. More than 50% in 2 years. More than 50%. Coffee, you don't want to see my coffee reserves. God forbid. I need coffee. I bought 50 coffees in 2020. 50 of them. At 51 pesos per package. Now they're 78 pesos per package. So they went up 50% also. So for those of you who think you're going to move to the Philippines, what I suggest is if you have the money and you like a product, buy a lot of it. And if you have the ability to store it, buy a lot of it. Because the prices have gone up 50% on most of the items that I enjoy in the last 2 years. 50% increase. You people think this is a joke. It's not a joke anymore. It cost Daisy and we figured it out when she was here. Before we went to Bantayan Island, we took the bills out of have a bin. We put them in by the month, the bills. And we added them all up. And we just averaged out our food bills. The electric bill, no. The electric actually came down in price. And the globe is the same. But the food bills went, it's about $400 a month for 2 people to eat well. About $400 a month. That's meat, chicken, fish, every day. All our meals. Meat, chicken, fish, and eggs. And Daisy would cook this stuff up. As you could see, I gained a lot of weight. But that's what it costs to live here. That includes toothpaste, toilet paper, groceries, all my water, because I drink, it costs me $30 a month for distilled water. So, but that's part of the $400. So, $30 a month for my distilled water. I also drink coffee. So the coffee, I have 4 spoons of coffee. So I might drink 4 cups of coffee in the morning. I don't know what that is at the end of the day. Hold on a minute. Okay, I got... Oh, yeah. I actually saved... Well, my food bill, when I went shopping at the first week of the pandemic, I probably spent $1,500 on foods. No joke, about $1,500. There was so much food. I think I have a video somewhere of it. The tricycle was full. The back of the tricycle was full. The boxes were right up to the top. And inside the tricycle was full. And I had to sit on top, put my feet up on top of boxes. Like, stick them up in the air. And I still have coffee. I was down to eight bundles of coffee. And yesterday I bought 10 more, so we're good to go. But rice, I bought the highest quality rice, and I immediately put it in dry containers. I made rice. Oh, when Daisy was here in October, we made rice from the rice I bought in 2020. There was still no bugs in it. But even if there was bugs in it, you know, Daisy's very frugal like that. She'll just strain them out. But we had no bugs. I says, Daisy, if there's bugs in there, throw it out. She goes, no, I'll just wash it out. I said, Daisy, if there's bugs in the rice, throw the damn rice out and buy new rice. It's cheap enough. No. Because Filipinos won't do that. I would just throw it out. I wouldn't. But she takes it, and I guess she puts it in. The bugs are a different... Jack is known. Jack is... DNC. Oh, God, that's funny. Jack, in case you guys don't know what DNC is talking about, Jack, pure protein, that's true. If you don't know they're in there and you cook them, you won't know that they're in there. But if you see them crawling around, that's something else altogether. They got to go. But there were no bugs, so whatever rice I bought didn't have enough moisture to hatch the eggs. I don't know. I've seen bugs in spaghetti. Oh shit, 50 kilos of spaghetti, 50 bags of sauce, 50 200-gram bags of coffee, 20 of the frying chips, these prawn chips. Maybe I bought more, maybe more than 20. 50 pounds of rice. 10 jars of peanut butter, not 5, not 6, 10. I bought everything in increments of 5, 10s, and 20s, or 30s, or 40s. What else? I bought all kinds of stuff. Salt and pepper. I bought kilos of salt and pepper. And, well, pepper just powder. But, yeah, I don't like running out. Now I'm still using the stuff I bought from 2020. But it's... So, in the prawn chips was 68. Could have been 58. Now they're 50% more. 50%. Everything's gone up 50%. It's an amazing thing. It's DNC. So DNC, let's see what we got here. Where's my DNC? Jack Thompson. Okay, he was supposed to send me pictures last week of the beach where he lives up north of New York. Instead, he sends me a file with his head. You got a picture, Jack Thompson. Big man, big strapping man that he is. His head, he's sitting in front of a park bench on the ground. So the park bench is behind him by his shoulders. And he has the knees of men's knees on his ears, keeping his ears warm. That's how he keeps his ears warm in the winter. He sits in front of a park bench where there's a man sitting on the bench. This is Jack Thompson. And then he asks the man to put his knees over his ears because his ears are cold. Jack Thompson. So I thought that was a little bit odd, but then when I called him up on the phone, he explained it all to me. He has a fetish for knees on his ears, particularly men's knees on his ears. I don't know about that, but that's what he told me. I'm not sure that that was the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God truth. But what was even a little bit more disturbing is when, towards the end of the file that he sent on Facebook, Jack was not facing in the same direction that the men were facing in. Jack had turned his head around to face the men's torso. And then he had his hands on their legs. And when I questioned him about, why are you facing the men? And why do you have your hands on their calf muscles? And then the truth came out. Jack likes men with muscular legs. That's his fetish. So now that explained everything. There's nothing more to explain. He has a fetish for legs. The bugs in rice. Jim Alver says, my pandemic food hoarding has paid off. That's true. Jim, okay, so here's what happened. Jim, I'll give you guys some information about what Jim just said. Okay. Daisy went back to Davao, she back and forth to see her family. Back in, was it last May or June? I don't remember. Anyway, she was in a canteen right across the street from her house, in her neighborhood where she lives, in a canteen. Everybody knows her in the canteen, everybody. And she put her phone down next to the cash register and walked away from it. Yes, Jim, that's true. And I think that's where Jack was going with that. I think he's been talking about that because he wants to hook up with that guy. I think. I'm not sure, Jim, but you'd have to ask Jack that. Muscular legs are muscular legs, and Jack didn't say he had a preference to where the legs were. Probably travel anywhere for a good pair of muscular legs. So Daisy leaves her phone on the canteen, sits down at the table. Now, Daisy does not lie. She was away from the table, from the phone, for 1 or 2 minutes maximum. She went back thinking it was going to be there, and somebody she knew in the province or the owner of the establishment took the phone. Well, I didn't remember that. So when Daisy gave me her GCash number, so for the airline tickets and whatnot, she told me her phone was stolen. She said that. But I don't think SIM card, phone, GCash. So 2 weeks ago, Friday, so 2 weeks ago this Friday, I go to GCash because she's got to get tickets again, and I put 4,000 pesos in GCash, which I have the receipt for right here. That I have the receipt for. Hey, Maya. I put 4,000 pesos in the GCash. No, that's not it. I put 4,000 pesos in the GCash. No, I don't know where it went. And I sent her a message on, I called her first. Here, no, that's not it. Anyway, it's gone. I threw it out. I threw it out because she got the money. So I called her on Facebook, she didn't answer. I called her on Facebook, she didn't answer. Then I sent her a message saying, I put 4,000 in Gcash 2 Fridays ago, so 16 days ago. And she gets the message and she calls me back. I didn't get a message. Where did you send it? The magnifying glass. You gotta have the tools. So it does look a little. So she goes. I said to her, I sent it to the, I don't know, whatever number it was. And oh, that phone was stolen. So I went up to the 7-Eleven, the girl in 7-Eleven. She goes, "Sir, you're going to have to get that done. I'll tell you how to get your money back. You'll have to get that done. If they didn't take the money out of the account, I'll tell you how to get your money back." So that was back in July. Her phone was stolen, or maybe August. And there's a number on the back of the receipt. I took a picture of that and sent it to Daisy. She went to the police station, reported the phone stolen. She got a police report. She sent a picture of the police report to the Gcash people. They had stopped the money in case the person with the phone who stole the phone was able to see that she got a Gcash. Because when I sent out the Gcash, theoretically the person with the stolen phone could have went right straight to 7-Eleven or Gcash and picked it up. But apparently they threw the SIM card out. So Daisy went to the police station, got a stolen police report for the phone and SIM card, gave that to the 800 number on the Gcash receipt, and within a day she had her money in her new account, and they closed out the other account. I need to hold on a minute, please. Hold on just 1 minute. Somebody. I'm going to check now, Aloe. No. The answer to that question is no. I never asked him his real name. It's not like he wouldn't tell me his real name. I don't ask a lot of questions about people that I meet. For instance, I was in ICM yesterday. It was yesterday. And I met somebody. We talked for 20 minutes. Had no idea what his name was. We talked. Told me his name was such and such, and maybe it was, and maybe it wasn't. I don't check ID. But if anybody comes up in the future, I probably would ask for ID. But most people in the past, no, I don't ask for ID. Aloe asked me if I knew somebody's identification, and I don't. So if you're watching the live stream, I don't ask. But there was a fella yesterday that wanted to meet me, or not meet me, talk to me. And I said, "You send me your email address and how to send it." His name, his address, his phone number, and a picture of his license he will give me before I talk to him. This way I know who I'm talking to if he wants to come and visit. So no, I don't have that information, sorry. So going back to the live stream, and the Gcash was given to Daisy within 24 hours after she showed them the police report. They killed the old account. The money can't get sent into the account. And they gave it to her. So it wasn't that hard to get the money. So there's a number on the back. She showed them a police report, and she was reimbursed for 4,000 pesos. Now, And that was for her up-and-coming tickets. Actually reminds me of something I learned when I was in school. Things appear, from my physics teacher. Things appear and things disappear. Allo's real name is Epstein, Goldberg Epstein. So no. All right, so let's go back. Yeah, I would imagine you were. Jack was smashed this morning. So Jack, have you found any? Jack is really into muscular legs. I think Jack is going to go to Bantallion Island before he comes to see me, because he knows he's in search of muscular legs, and he's already mentioned it a few times. I'm reading the comments. I got a couple of classics vehicles, Jack says. Okay. Jack has a 76 Nova. That's a classic. And actually, the Novas were nice cars. I mean, it was a nice enough car, especially, I remember Donnie Nova. He had the fastest car ever. He had a 10-second Nova in 1973. I had a 12-second 446-pack GTX with 411 Dana rear and Dana axles with a 6-pack, 3 Harley 500s. But Donnie Nova, he had, no, it was Donnie Duster. It was not a Nova, it was a Duster. He had a 10-second Duster. But there was a fast Nova in the neighborhood as well. You couldn't beat it. It was like, maybe it was an 11-second car. That was a pretty cool car. Novas and Dusters. Lewis says heavy. No, that's not Lewis. Where? Like I lost my place here. Heavy snow in New York, says DNC. Keep those ears warm, Jack. According to the pictures that Jack sent me, there's a beach right near his house, and people go to the beach and sit on the beach on the chairs. Apparently, where Jack lives, there were all different men, and he had his head between all different men's knees. Okay? So apparently, whatever kind of neighborhood that Jack lives in, or where he lives, or that part of the beach, might be specific to men who like to keep other men's ears warm. I don't know. I didn't want to get in too much into it, but all Jack did was he confirmed that his ears have to be kept warm, and he knows how to do it. He's an expert at this. He's been doing it his whole life. Louis Pagan Punch. The bugs that typically infest rice are flour, okay, are called gorgojo in Spanish. Weevil. Rice, boll weevils in English. Yeah, I don't know. I throw it out. Daisy washes that stuff out with a sifter. Jack, DNC knows where there's a set of muscular legs cheap. No, I don't know about any travel plans. I don't think that there are any travel plans to do that. You know, you listen to this other people on YouTube. Oh, he's got to go here. You don't have to go anywhere. He doesn't have to go anywhere. There's no requests to see him anywhere. It's all bologna and cheese. DNC, I had a 23.5 second Chevy Monza. I remember those. That was the equivalent of a Gremlin. What a piece of junk. I never owned a Nova. I never owned a Nova. I owned a. It was not. It was an SS 350 SS Camaro, but not the Super Sport. It wasn't the Super Sport. It just had a 350. It may have had a 4-barrel. I don't remember. It wasn't fast. It was pretty though. Had a spoiler on the back, 3-speed automatic. It was a pretty car, but it wasn't fast. Nothing compared to my GTX, that's for sure. And similar crime. You throw the, okay, hey, thanks for stopping by. I almost wrote you a letter about a week ago. Nothing important. Nothing at all. I says, nothing important. So I was going to say hello. I would have got around to it, say hello before the holidays anyway. But thanks for stopping by. So the freezer, similar crime says that the freezer, yeah, but I had 50 pounds of rice. That would be problematic to put it in. Plus my freezer is stuffed with meat. Now you might be able to fit 3 more kilos in my freezer, but probably that would be pushing the limit. Yesterday I bought 6 kilos. Last week I bought 8, 9. So that's 15 kilos. So my freezer's full. 15 kilos of pork, and then 6 kilos of lumpia meat. Lumpia meat went up to 270, 280 a kilo from 190 in the last 3 months. So it went from 190 to 270. That went up also 40%. So let's see, what else is that? Not much. My controller is now full. Yesterday I went to fly at the ICM mall. It was a bad day to fly anyway. It was really overcast. It had rained, stopped raining. It was going to rain again. And at the controller, I set everything up, and the controller must have left it on. I don't know. It went dead. So now, let's see what's with my phone. Yeah, flying. I think I'm going to fly this afternoon. If the sun comes out. Yep, need to charge this. Yeah, I'm down to half a charge. This iPhone is the i13 Pro. It lasts an unbelievable amount of time. It's at half charge now. I think I charged it up last week, a week ago, 8 days ago. So that works out really well. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to top off this battery. Well, yeah, these batteries don't last. I requested on the drone, I requested information about how to get the drone battery to, see the yellow drone? I requested information on how to get the battery back up. The batteries are only, what, 2 months old now? 2 months? 2 months? And the battery, 2 months? And the battery, one battery went down. It will only charge up 3 bars. That's it. It will only charge up 3 bars. And another battery will charge up 4 bars, but it drains the 3 bars almost immediately. See this battery here? 3 bars. It won't charge more than 3 bars. And I'm lucky if I get that. Hold on a minute. I gotta. No, it's not gonna go. I get 3 bars out of it. The 4th bar won't even come on. And this battery is an aftermarket battery by DJI, and it was $120. $120. And it took a dump on me. Less than 2 months old, and it will only go up to 3 bars. I don't know why. I have no idea. The one I bought with the drone goes up to 4 bars. Anybody that owns a drone knows about these batteries. And then it tells you that you're only, you're a piece of, then it tells you when you buy a battery, you can charge it 50 times, 20 times, but if you let it go down past 10%, the battery loses capacity. There's a whole world of knowing how to charge your battery. You can't leave the battery in the case at 100% charged, and you can't leave it in the case at 0% charge. You got to keep the batteries between 30 and 50%, and they last the longest. You could do it any way you want, but then you kill the battery. Leave it in the case at 100% charge. It could go down to 30%, but then you got to charge it again. But if you leave it at 10%, it goes down to 0. You ruin the battery. There's a lot of stuff to know about drones. A lot of stuff. A lot. And a fantastic amount of ridiculous little pieces of information. Anyway, I'm not a drone pilot yet. And I watch videos on it occasionally. I can do what I want to do with the drone. What I really need to do is figure out how to splice a couple of them together, but then you have to get music from some place called Zeeb. I don't know. You got to go onto a different website, take the drone videos, put them in your hard drive, and bring them over to some channel called Zeeb or Weeb, Dweeb, whatever it is. Put them on their website. Download them onto their website, and then find music for them load the music to the videos, and then download them off their website back onto your drive, and then you can put them on YouTube. That's too much work. I'm not going to do that. So don't expect any long, I'm going to just do 4-minute videos with the drone and add the same blase music, because that's what they got available, and I'm not much for splicing stuff. So what I'm going to do is I have to have my breakfast, my lunch. I had breakfast, and I'm going to have my lunch. And it stopped raining. I might clean that case up, prepare it for the paint, but I won't paint today. And so you guys want to say goodbye to each other, to myself? I did. I did, DNC. I added music from the YouTube studio, but there's only three musical combinations, only 3 musical pieces that are longer than 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And the drone breaks up. It's kind of like a GoPro. The GoPro breaks it up into 10-minute videos, or 3.75 gigs. The drone videos break it up into 3.5 gig segments. And that averages out to 4 minutes and 51 seconds. And there's only one song that's over 4 minutes. The other 2 are 350 and 340. So you only have 3 options. And you can't add like a 2-minute song and then add another song to it. You can't do that. So you can only add one song from the YouTube studio. That's it. Only one song. But thanks for the information. I did figure that part out. If you go by the drone, oh yeah. Oh, Jim is right. Oh yeah. Oh. Hey, Jim, look what happened to me. The advertisement was to use the Mavic DJI Air 2 and the Air 2S. You could use it with your Android phone, but you couldn't. So I had to buy an iPhone 13, which was $1,400. So, and DJI still has not fixed the problem that they said on DJI's website. When I ordered the drone, it said we're working on the problem. So I figured, how long could it be? A couple of days, somebody will fix the problem, but they never fixed it. And this goes back to August already. They're not going to fix it. They got a deal worked out with iPhone. Buy a DJI Air 2S, buy an iPhone 13 Pro. There's got to be some kind of collusion. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. Jack, now that everybody knows about your fetish, I'm sure the office will be coming in to keep your ears warm, Jack. Jim, Lewis, DNC, thank you for stopping by. Have a great day. I gonna go have lunch. I'm gonna have I got a good lunch planned today. Meat, chicken lumpia, fried, baby, with eggs. I'm Pink Permy, which means, of course, take care always. From the Philippines, baby. Oh yeah, and John Blaze, I'll see you when you come back from Bantayan. And John, I think I left a message on your video. If I were you, while I was in Bantayan Island, there's no way I would go on the island without having one of the Cuckoo Bar and Grill's hamburgers, cheeseburgers. They are out there. For $5, you're never going to get a better hamburger, ever. Not in America, not anywhere. So the Cuckoo Bar and Grill, baby. See you later, alligator. Bye-bye for now. From the Philippines, baby. Humping.